Hello, you guys, and welcome back. This is Sasha. First of all, I want to thank you guys so much for your support of my channel, from my pregnancy vlogs up until my TTC and wellness vlogs that I'm doing now. And I really am trying to be more transparent. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that I've been avoiding talking about, and I really feel like it could be beneficial to other women and people in general. So I really just wanted to kind of put it out there, what I've been going through since the loss of my daughter these past 4.5 months. And hopefully it can help, one of you ladies or your husband, or, if you know a friend or a loved one who has gone through this or going through this. It can really shed some light. So today I want to talk about depression. And it's really a taboo topic. A lot of people do not really acknowledge how powerful mental health illness is in the community in general. And having checks and making sure that you are well mentally is such an important topic that most of the time gets overlooked. So I really want to discuss depression as well as PTS and anxiety, which are all things that I've dealt with since the passing of my daughter, as well as I dealt with my mom to a certain extent. So if you haven't seen my stillbirth video, it'll be at the link below. You can click on that and watch that. It's a little lengthy, but it'll give you a lot of background on what happened with my stillbirth. But long story short, I found out my daughter had passed on a Wednesday and she didn't get delivered till Saturday. I went home and I labored at home for those 3 days. And those 3 days really psychologically affected me more than I cared to admit during my stillbirth video. And at that point in my grief, I was so emotionally upset and a wreck from losing my daughter Shalea that I had not processed that it was really traumatic for me. I was in the moment and I couldn't snap out. And so as time has slowly transitioned, it has not been that much time, I went through, your regular stages of grief. However, it was really traumatic at certain points. It was traumatic when I couldn't get her cremated because I was thinking about her body decaying in the morgue. It was traumatic not having peace to the point where I couldn't sleep. It was traumatic going back to the home where I was once so joyful and where I used to talk and read to her, and then laboring there for 3 days and then delivering her and then coming right back to that same home, that same bed, and just feeling an emptiness inside my body and my womb. And it was extremely difficult, to the point I could not sleep without my husband present, because I would feel my body going through contractions. I would feel phantom movements from a baby that was no longer inside of me, that I was no longer carrying it. And I did not have any kind of outlet to get all these emotions that were building up inside of me. And I had also not dealt with the emotions and the mental effects of my mother passing so suddenly in January of 2014. And so the post-traumatic stress from my mom, coupled with the post-traumatic stress that I had from my daughter, literally made me mentally check out for a little while. Yes, could I do certain things? And this is not to offend people who really do suffer from more severe bout of mental illness, because in no way am I saying I'm an expert. I'm talking about my own personal experience and my limited knowledge at that point in time. So I'm speaking of where I was at that time to where I am now. I just was not handling it. I was not eating, and then when I did eat, I was binging. I wasn't sleeping, and then when my body couldn't go any further, I was just in bed exhausted. Then I convinced myself that I was ready to go back to work, and I was having so many grief bursts or emotional points in the day where I was breaking down and crying that I really pushed myself before I should have went back to work. And these are things that I became aware of now as I do go to grief counseling, as I have sought professional help to assist me in my transition. And so I had to find healthy boundaries, and I still struggle at finding healthy boundaries. My anxiety would increase when I would feel like I was leaving my daughter, even though it's just her ashes at home. So I carry a picture on my phone, and I have a picture that is on my dashboard in my car. And that was my first step to helping control my anxiety linked with my depression. When I began going to grief counseling back in December, which was very beneficial to me, she suggested journaling. And I was journaling on my computer, as I've done for years. I started doing it my freshman year in college back in 2006. And it just wasn't helping get out my emotions and my feelings that I would have at work, because I couldn't always run to the bathroom or have a moment to myself, because I am a teacher, a high school math teacher, and you can't just leave your classroom unattended because you are emotionally in a bad headspace. And so I had to find proper coping techniques in the situation that I was in so that it would be beneficial. So one thing that I do every day is I journal. I just have this book. That's my second book that I've had. I had one before that kind of got damaged by my dog. It's like $2 and some change. I get it at Walmart. It's real colorful. It's a composition book. This is my teacher. I just throw it in my bag, and most of the time people don't even realize what it is. And I write about all kind of experiences. And I keep a pen in there, so there's never excuse when I'm having a moment for me to journal about it. And it doesn't have to be bad things. It's whatever's on my mind that I just need to get out, because going back to not being able to sleep unless my husband was at home, my husband was my pillow. He was my comfort. I could talk to God, but I needed something tangible. And then when I could not talk to my husband because, of course, he's at work or I'm at work, or it's just not conducive to the space that we're in, be it if we're traveling or something like that, I didn't have an outlet. So I was internalizing all these feelings and this sadness and this grief and this guilt in my body that I had, and there was no way to get it out. And so I turned to journaling. And at first I wasn't being consistent, and so I wasn't consistently feeling better. And then I started journaling in the morning when I would get up. I have a morning routine. I kind of self-reflect the first, about 15 minutes, and I write, and I get out my thoughts, or maybe it was a dream, or maybe it was something that was lingering with me before I went to bed, or maybe I watched one of you ladies' videos on YouTube, and I was like, I'm really just envious, and I just needed to get it out, and it has been so helpful. Another coping mechanism, I was calling my husband every day at work. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. Again, where I was at in the beginning to where I'm at now has been my transition. I was calling him every day and needing to talk to him just to keep my anxiety under control. I would be shaking and fidgeting, and I couldn't process what I needed to do at my job. And so I would talk to him and kind of relax, and we would talk about God and things like that. And it really was helpful. We did that for about 3 months, the first 3 months. And it's been this last month where I've kind of transitioned. Yeah, I talked to my husband, but it's not so long. Like, I might be telling him about something, or he's telling me about something, but it's not to the point where it's just like, oh, I have to call him because I won't be able to get through. I need to hear his voice. I need someone who's gone through the trenches with me. It's not like that at all. And the last thing that I would really say has helped with specifically the depression part, because I still am struggling with it, has been my faith. And I understand that everybody is not a faith-based person. But I'm a strong believer, because I do believe in Jesus Christ, that the Lord will never put more on us than we can bear. So there's a lot of times that I feel like I can't bear it. And journaling isn't work. Talking to my husband's not working. Going to counseling is not, it's not helping me. I'm just in a rut. And I'm really emotional. And I'm really down. And I just can't get through. And so I find when I have those moments that I really just try to pray. And I pray even when I don't think I can pray, or when I think it doesn't sound right, or it doesn't make any sense. Even down to doing this video. I don't know if it'll be received positively or negatively, but I wanted to talk about the fact that yes, I have anxiety. I have post-traumatic stress. I have depression. I am actively dealing with it. But the key thing and the key message of this video is not so much as to depress anybody or anything like that and have anybody feel sorry for me. I'm doing something about it. And a lot of times when we go through things that are really just tragic, we forget that we can't just put it in the closet or put it under the rug. We have to deal with it, because if I don't deal with it today, it might be when I'm pregnant again, or 20 years from now, or when I'm old in age, and it just comes back and it hits me so strong. And I just don't want that for myself. I'd rather get through it and have my rough days now and know that it'll get better than it to surprise me in my future and just like pop up just randomly, because it's a very emotional thing. It's a very difficult thing. I wouldn't wish this situation and losing a child on my worst enemy, because it takes you through an emotional roller coaster that takes years to recover and a lifetime to recover for some people. There is no set time frame. So for those of you who know someone or who have gone through personally, no matter if it's a miscarriage or a stillbirth or early infant loss or a child loss or any kind of loss in general, I'll just be praying for you. I know everybody's not religious, but it really takes a lot out of you, and it's always important to have people rooting for me in my corner. So just know, whether you're religious or not, I'm sending you positive vibes, hoping that things get better. If you're on a TTC journey and you've been on one for years and you're getting discouraged, you know, again, I'm sending positive vibes, because this journey can literally take a lot and wear on your mental health. And so I really just thank you guys for watching. I will probably keep you updated and give you a little bit more information. But I just wanted to just have a sit down and talk, and I didn't want anybody to walk away looking at my videos like, oh, she's fine, she's lost her daughter, but she's in such a good headspace and she's so positive and uplifting. I have my okay days, my great days, and my not so great days, but I just get through it and I take it one day at a time. So I hope you all are having a wonderful and blessed day. And I thank you so much again for your support and your love and your kind words. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. It's like, I love peanuts. I love potatoes. I love vegan meat. Sorry if you can hear my husband. He in there talking to somebody and it's their birthday. Probably someone from church. And we're a very animated household. So